Okay, so welcome to part 2 of our lesson, and we are going to look at a worksheet and practice matching causes with the effects. Okay, so the title of this chart is The Causes and Effects of Too Many Plastic Bags. Okay, so let's look at the first cause. Plastic bags are light and easy to carry. Okay, so the effect is customers prefer them. Okay. Go ahead and do numbers 2 through 4, so you can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Stores give away plastic bags for free. Okay, so we can say the effect is D, customers don't reuse them. Customers don't reuse them. Okay, and then number 3, customers throw the plastic bags away. Customers throw the plastic bags away. Okay, so the effect is A, there are too many bags in the trash. There are too many bags in the trash. And then number 4, there is a huge amount of plastic in the ground. There is a huge amount of plastic in the ground. So the effect is letter C. Chemicals get into the soil and the water. Chemicals get into the soil and the water. Okay? So now we are going to use these causes and effects to complete this story, this paragraph. Okay? So you can keep in mind what we learned in lesson C, connectors, using since and so, or because and therefore. Practice, well, actually there is only going to be one answer. But as you complete the sentences, just pay attention to what kind of connectors are used. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at the story, or the paragraph. The causes and effects of too many plastic bags. We use too many plastic bags, and it is a serious environmental problem. One cause is that plastic bags are light and easy to carry, so customers prefer them. Okay, so you notice that here the connector is so. Okay. Another cause is that stores give away plastic bags for free. Okay, so it's this sentence right here. I'm not going to type it out this time because you can already see the sentences here. Okay, so another cause is that stores give away plastic bags for free. Therefore, customers don't reuse them. Customers don't reuse them. Okay, so in this case, the connector is therefore, which has the same meaning as so. Okay, and then since customers throw the plastic bags away, there are too many bags in the trash. Again, since customers throw the plastic bags away, there are too many bags in the trash. Okay, and we're using the connector since here, which also has the same meaning as because. Okay, and then because there is a huge amount of plastic in the ground, chemicals get into the soil and the water. Okay, because there is a huge amount of plastic in the ground, chemicals get into the soil and the water. Okay. If we used fewer plastic bags, we would cause less damage to the environment. Okay, so if you remember from, let me find it real quick. I think it is our grammar lesson. Lesson B, we learned how to use conditionals, and specifically present unreal conditionals. Okay, so if we used fewer plastic bags, and for this if clause, we need to use the past tense, we would cause less damage to the environment. Okay, we have to use the modal would and this in the results clause. Okay, so now I want you to look at letter C. It says choose one of the problems or use your own idea. Complete the chart. So you can see there are 3 problems: not enough clean water, not enough trees, or too much air pollution. Okay, so I'm going to give you an option here actually. So you can do this activity and write the problem, choose the problem, or use your own idea, and then write the causes and effects. Or you can go back to your book, and if you look at this graphic organizer, it's basically the same thing, but just organized in a different way. Okay, so you can do the graphic organizer, or you can do the chart. Okay, and then after you do this activity, I actually want you to write a paragraph using the causes and effects that you listed. Okay, so that would actually be the second exercise, number 2, write. Okay, so let's go to that page actually. Oops, sorry, wrong page. Let's go back to that. Make it 1 page. There we go. Okay, so exercise 2 says, write a paragraph about an environmental problem in your city or community. Now, your city or community, if it is Sugar Hill or Buford or Sewanee, then there might not be any noticeable environmental problems. So if you want, you can talk about a general environmental problem, or you can talk about the city of Atlanta, which is more likely to have environmental problems such as air pollution, water pollution, or too much trash everywhere. Okay, so again, you can talk about the city of Atlanta or a general environmental problem that's not in your city or community, such as global warming or the melting ice caps. And if you want, you can even talk about some of the less commonly mentioned environmental problems, such as noise pollution or light pollution. Now, these things are not the same level of urgency or seriousness. Still, it can have a negative effect or a negative impact on the environment, and especially on our stress and well-being. So you can go ahead and take some time to do this activity, and as you write, keep in mind these things. Okay, my topic sentence identifies an environmental problem, so of course you want to make sure that you include that at the very beginning, the topic sentence. And then number 2, I clearly explained the causes and effects. And then number 3, I provided supporting details for the causes of the environmental problem. Okay, so go ahead and, as I mentioned, you can do this activity or the chart from the worksheet, but either way, it's the same activity ultimately, the same writing assignment. Okay, so you can pause the video and continue when you are finished. Okay, I hope that was a helpful exercise, but since I can't check it, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to our next lesson. But if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask me at any time in WhatsApp or text message, whatever's more convenient. Okay, so we're going to move on to lesson F, so page 120 in your student's book, 120. Okay, so lesson F, another view. Let's take a look at this chart. Okay, the title is Save Our Planet. Our Choices Matter. Okay, so go ahead and look at the information in this chart and read it, and then answer the questions. And as always, practice making complete sentence answers. Okay, so pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, alright, so let's read the chart together. Now you can see numbers at the top of each box. but it says here 150%, okay, or 150% more energy is used by regular light bulbs than energy efficient bulbs or energy efficient compact fluorescent bulbs. And then 400 gallons of water are wasted every month when you have a leaky faucet. 1,000 years is how long plastic bottles take to decompose in landfills. And then 1,200, or you could say 1,200 pounds of organic garbage are thrown out by the average American in a year. Okay, and by organic, that means like food items. It doesn't mean organic like you see at the grocery store, like no pesticides. Generally, people think that organic is healthier and better for you because they don't use chemicals to grow the products. But here, it's a different use of the word organic. It just means like food items, not plastic, not paper, but like vegetables. That's what it's talking about. Okay, or meat, vegetables, meat, fruit. Those are organic products. Okay, and then 95,000 pounds of pollution are produced by driving a car for 1 year. And then 14 million trees are cut down to produce the 10 billion paper bags that Americans use every year. That's pretty crazy, and that's pretty shocking, actually. So, American people use 10 billion paper bags. That number is just very hard to even fathom or imagine. And 14 million trees are cut down every year. That's very sad. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at the questions. What does the number 95,000 represent? So we can say the number 95,000 represents, letter C, pounds of pollution from a car in 1 year. So again, the number 95,000 represents pounds of pollution from a car in 1 year. Okay, and the number 2, according to the handout, why are plastic bottles bad? So we can say, according to the handout, plastic bottles are bad because they take a long time to decompose. Okay, so they are bad because they take a long time to decompose. And then number 3, in the sentence, 400 gallons of water are wasted every month when you have a leaky faucet. What does wasted mean? Okay, so restating this sentence, this question is long, but you can say, in the sentence, 400 gallons of water are wasted every month when you have a leaky faucet. Wasted means used carelessly. So letter B. Okay, wasted means used carelessly. And then number 4, the handout does not discuss, and the answer is letter C, pollution from airplanes. The handout does not discuss pollution from airplanes. So let me mention something very briefly. As the questions state, this is a handout, and it's organized somewhat graphically. As you can see, there are squares, and the numbers are big instead of writing them right in front of the sentence. So this is a kind of graphic organizer. Now, when we see this kind of information, especially with numbers and what they represent, it's very effective to use a very specific kind of graphic organizer called an infographic. So let me show you an example. This is a type of infographic. As you might assume, info, of course, is information or informational. Graphic, again, graphic is like a visual representation of something. So this is an example of an infographic, and as you can see, there are numbers that represent something, and it's a lot easier to see and remember, and also more interesting, and it also captures our attention more effectively to show information like this as an infographic rather than just listing the sentences, because that's kind of boring and it doesn't really help us to remember the information. So infographics are very popular, not just for environmental things, but for many things that have a lot of numbers and a lot of data, a lot of just very dry information. So I'm not sure when this information is from, or the source, or if it's even true, but I think it's generally true. So we're just going to briefly take a look at it. So you can see here, only 1 in 5 plastic water bottles is recycled. So you can see the pictures here, and then this is the 1 out of 5 that's recycled. So again, seeing visuals is much more effective in communicating what you want and helping people to remember. Same thing here, the 3 ways to save water. So you can see little icons that help you to remember. Don't water lawn at peak hours. Choose a shower over a bath. Okay, over in this case means instead of a bath. Okay. Wash car only when needed. Okay, so again, as I mentioned many times before, these are not sentences, they're just notes, so they're missing words, like wash your car only when needed. So, and then everything's in capital letters because they are like titles. Okay, now I'm not going to read all of them, but as you can see, this is a much better way to organize this kind of information. So this is a kind of graphic organizer. Okay, but we're going to move on. And let's look at this worksheet. Okay, so go ahead and read the clues. This is a crossword puzzle, a very popular kind of word activity in America. So down means these up and down blocks, and then across means the left and right blocks. But there's only 1 across in this puzzle, so it's pretty easy. But go ahead and take some time to do this activity, and you can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 1 down, and you can see the number here, 1 down. These new light bulbs are more energy efficient. Okay, more energy efficient. And then number 2, and we can find that here. Cars are one cause of air, and then I wrote the answers down earlier, so I'm gonna show you it so that I don't have to type all of it as you watch. It's just kind of boring. So again, cars are one cause of air pollution. Okay, and then number 3, the Earth's temperature is rising. This is called global warming. That's number 3 here. So global warming. Okay, and then oops. Okay, and then number 4, which is right here. Using less air conditioning will reduce our energy use. Okay, and then number 5, don't throw your bottles in the trash. You should recycle them. Okay, and then finally number 6, the melting ice caps are a serious, and that's right here, serious environmental problem. Okay, so I know it's kind of messy and the letters are all over the place, but you understand how to do this activity. Okay, and then let's take a look at exercise B. Complete the chart with ways to save energy, gas, and water. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. You're going to put each of these sentences in one of the categories, one of the 3 categories. So go ahead and pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, let's look at the first category, save energy at home. So you can say, don't use air conditioning. Okay, don't use air conditioning. And then the second one is turn down your heater. Turn down your heater. Okay. The next one is turn. Now, I know it says turn out, and some people use this phrase, turn out the lights, but it's more common to use turn off the lights. Turn out or turn off, but as I mentioned, it's a little better to say turn off the lights. Okay, and then finally, use energy efficient light bulbs. Okay, all right, and then save gas. Okay, so you can carpool to work. You can also ride a bicycle instead of a car, and then share a car with your, sorry about that again. Share a car with your neighbor, okay, which is also carpooling, okay. And then the last one is take the bus or train, or the train, either way, because you already said the bus here, so you don't have to say the twice. Okay, and then save water. Don't leave water running. Okay, and of course in this case the phrase water running means on, like don't leave water on. And run is used in so many ways. As you know, a very common way to use run is for when you run a race, like we talked about in the fable of the tortoise and the hare. Run also means to operate, like run a business. And run late. When you say, I am running late, then it just means I am in the process of being late. Okay, we're going to keep going. And then, don't water your grass. So just let the rain do it. Okay, and then take shorter showers. Okay, and then lastly, use the dishwasher only when it is full. Oops. And the same goes for laundry. You can say, use the washing machine only when you have a full load. Use the washing machine only when you have a full load. Okay, so you can go ahead and move on to part 3 of the lesson.